look at a new type called an array. An array is a variable that can hold many values. So let's take a look at an example. We're going to create a variable, so we start out with var, and then we give it a variable name. So let's look at maybe some destinations we'd like to travel to. And if we want to store many values into that one variable, we can use the square bracket and then start making a list of things in comma. Where might we want to go? Well, one of my favorite places to go is Hawaii. I also like to go to San Diego, and I like to go to San Antonio. And so I can just make a list. Now, what type do I have inside? Well, it's characters with quotation marks around it. So that's a string, and then I have a comma, and I have another set of characters and quotation marks, so that's a string. And then the last one is also a string, and then we use a semicolon to be complete. So we've created a variable travel, and I'm working in a JavaScript shell right now. It happens to be the one from Chrome, but it could be any JavaScript shell. And it returned to me undefined because it stored those three values into my travel variable. So if I want to look at my travel variable, I can type it out, and it will show me that I have 3 items stored in my travel variable, and those values are Hawaii, San Diego, and San Antonio. Now, JavaScript is very user-friendly and very flexible, so you could just create any kind of variable, maybe test scores, and assign that equal to square brackets. And just because you have those square brackets, and I'm going to put a semicolon there for completion even though JavaScript doesn't mind. Now, test scores is also an array, only now it has 0 values in it. So you can create an array with values or without values. All you need are the square brackets to indicate to JavaScript that you indeed want to store multiple values in that single variable. Now, how can we get to each variable individually? Well, we do that with our index. So if I want to look at what is in travel at the first location, well, in computer science, we like to start counting with 0. So the first element is at index 0, and that gives me Hawaii. So if I look at index 1, well, you can see 0, Hawaii, 1, 2. We just count up. We just start with 0. That's the only difference. So 0, 1, 2. So 1 should be San Diego. And 2 should be San Antonio. So that's how we can access the individual members of the array. We can use those square brackets and use the index values. Now, JavaScript is flexible, and it allows you to use the next index. So the fourth one is actually at index 3, right? Because we're counting at 0. There's nothing in there yet, but we can just go ahead and assign it a new location. Where might we want to go? I don't know. I like Door County. That might be a nice place to go. So I can just put that string in there. Now, travel 3 has that new value. And if I look at my travel variable, you can see now that it has 0, 1, 2, 3. So index 3 is Door County, and I have 4 elements in it. Not only that, you can jump to any number you want. So let's say the 99th destination that I want to go to, is perhaps New York City, New York. So 99 becomes New York City, New York. And we can see if we show that value that it's indeed in there. Well, so we have something at index 0, 1, 2, 3, but this one we said 99. We skipped a whole bunch of numbers in there. So what's going to happen there? Well, let's look at our entire. Well, it's telling me I have 100 spots now. So I have 0, 1, 2, 3, and then it's telling me you have 95 empty slots. And so index 99 is New York City. Well, that's 100 elements. So if you put a gap in there, it's going to create empty spots for any of those indexes that are unused.